What's up, you guys? Shark here. So for all you Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fans out there, especially the ones that love the 90s film adaptations, with this year being the 35th anniversary for the 1990 film, let's take a look at every figure NECA has made so far and see what's left they have to make in addition to the Secret of the OOZE and TMNT 3. So up first, starting with the main 4 turtles from the 1990 film themselves, NECA released all 4 turtles, which look absolutely beautiful, and initially, these were iconic exclusives and later GameStop exclusives as individual releases. With upset fans, scalpers, and lack of figures to find, they eventually released them as Walmart exclusives within 2 packs, which came with additional accessories that kind of upsetted a lot of people, but we got them anyways. And to really rub salt in the wounds for the 35th anniversary itself, NECA released a 5-pack that involved all 4 turtles that roughly have the same accessories, but this time this pack includes the highly sought after and rare Spirit Splinter, which is pretty cool to relive that iconic yet emotional campfire scene. Leonardo was re-released with some minor bruises and slightly different head sculpt to showcase the rooftop battle with Shredder, and Raphael was the only figure to be re-released 4 times, as this figure was also seen within the famous trench coat within a 2-pack with Casey Jones, which we'll get to in a little bit. They also released an accessories pack with alternate heads and props from the movie to satisfy die-hard dio makers, and their attention to detail was amazing. Next, they also released the baby turtles, which are pretty awesome in their own way, seeing how these were shown in the movie during the origin sequence. These definitely would look good in the collection. Next, you have Master Splinter. This figure came as a standalone as well as a 4-pack showcasing the scene where he was captured by the Foot Clan, and then there was a 2-pack with Shredder. And as a bonus treat for fans, the Spirit Splinter, which was initially a solo figure, was later re-released within a 5-pack to celebrate the 35th anniversary. Depending on which version you get, some has more accessories than others. Next, when looking at the allies, we have none other than April O'Neil herself. Now this figure isn't just Judith Hogue to a T, but the downfall would have to be her knee joints that not everyone was a fan of, but was later re-released with updated knee joints. Needless to say, to make the fans go an extra mile, if you wanted to have her in her yellow raincoat, this was sold as an exclusive with other accessories. Yet, if you couldn't settle on any of these, she was later re-released with Casey Jones within a Farm 2-pack. And at the time of making this video, there is a tease of a yellow jumpsuit April, which I'm not sure is still coming out or not, but they gave us something to look forward to. Casey Jones was first released within a 2-pack with Raphael, but fans noticed there was no alternate head or unmasked version, and also had different elbow joints. So eventually they re-released him as a solo figure with the mask and updated elbows, and then again with another 2-pack with April O'Neil in the farm version. And then to milk the situation even more, Casey returned once again with the dirt bike. NECA probably hit a little desperate mode there, but it's basically the same figure. Next we have the bitch ass Danny, and unfortunately this is the weakest figure of the batch. Sure, his face sculpt is awesome, but if you own this figure, you'll know that he is extremely short and not height accurate at all. It's really disappointing, but here's to hoping for a re-release in his black Sid Vicious shirt. Only time will tell. Then when it comes to the villains, we have the main baddie himself, the Shredder. This figure is absolutely badass and I love it, but in case you missed out the first time, you have the 2-pack with Splinter, the 4-pack with Splinter and the Foot Soldiers, as well as the new 2-pack with Leonardo that I discussed earlier that doesn't include the cape and maybe a slightly updated face. Regardless which one you own, it's still an incredible figure to own. And after many years of waiting, NECA finally released Tatsu, which is a solid figure and long overdue. However, he falls a bit on the short side and his face isn't 100% accurate, at least to me, but overall I'm at least happy they finally made him. The Foot Soldiers were also released as single GameStop versions and then within 2 packs and then again within the 4-pack with Splinter and Shredder. Although some may say that their height is too tall, but they're still great army builders and you can never have too many, that's for sure. Last but not least, you have the deep cut of Oroku Saki and Hamato Yoshi. Although this scene lasted merely a few seconds, it's still incredible to see NECA pull off such a set. It's not for everyone, but if you're a diehard TMNT movie lover, then you can't pass up on these guys. It's totally badass. And now, let's move on to the 1991 TMNT movie, Secret of the OOZE. Granted, this isn't everyone's favorite movie with its lighthearted tone compared to the first, but hey, it's not that bad. NECA released a 4-pack of all 4 turtles with unique head sculpts, which looks pretty awesome, and then they re-released the 4 brothers within 2 packs briefly after as Walmart exclusives. And then to bask in on more nostalgia, they eventually released an accessory pack with more alternate heads and props from the movie for die-hard fans. Not too bad at all. Next we have Kino, and at the time of making this video, there's no single version just yet, as the only way to get this figure is the exclusive version with his scooter and the Kino with the Foot Soldier 2-pack. Until then, I'll keep on waiting because third time could be the charm. Next, Professor Jordan Perry gets inducted into the line as not with 1 figure but 2 in different outfits. Now for me, this is a hard pass, but if you're someone who really loves this movie and wants every character, then you may like it. Otherwise, no harm if you don't have it since he's technically not a well-known character anyway. so consider him a Baxter knockoff. Next, we have Shredder in his purple outfit, and like the first release, this one is just as great, with the little updates here and there, and I absolutely love this figure and wouldn't mind getting another one just to display him without the cape, but only time will tell. However, Shredder was given the OOZE treatment, as here we can see 3 different Super Shredders, as we have the purple version, the Shadow Master version which is in darker hues, and the European homage. Personally, all 3 were great in the collection, but if you want a definitive one, the main purple one is the way to go. Next, we have possibly the most amazing figures and details I've ever seen, which are the Tokka and Razar 2-packs. Now trust me when I say they really went all out with these figures and probably are in my top 3 favorite NECA figures of all time. They are just absolutely beautiful and a must-have for any TMNT fan to own, and that's all I can say about that. When it comes to the foot soldiers, we have the 2-packs which are slightly grayed compared to the first initial releases, and then the extra chubby soldier that comes with Kino in the 2-pack. Seeing how in the movie there was a guy with Kino but he was unmasked, so it makes sense why they did not go with the likeness rights to this one. Last but not least, we have TMNT 3 from 1993. This pretty much is the worst film of the franchise, and for the time being, despite the sculpting of the figures looking accurate and awesome, it's just a hard pass for me. The figures were released as a 4-pack exclusive and then 2-packs not too long after as a Walmart exclusive. Other than that, one of the creators, Kevin Eastman, has his own figure released from the 1990 film, where he originally had a cameo in the film as a garbage man but was cut. So I don't know what to really say about this, but if you want something completely rare and out of the green for you hardcore TMNT fans, I guess it's a cool figure. And despite TMNT probably nearing its end, at least within the movie line, if you really want to spice up your collection, we have our first look at the new Rocksteady and Bebop figures that were teased at the live event to indicate a what-if scenario on how they would have looked like in the movie. I have mixed thoughts about this, but I'll save it for the official images to surface. So with that said, how many of these figures do you own? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to give a like and subscribe for more Shark news, and I'll talk to you all next episode.